The evacuation alarm had been screaming for 90 seconds when Ambassador Telrin realized the human was running in the wrong direction. Everyone else on diplomatic station Arcturus fled toward the emergency shuttles as flames consumed the residential wing. The Zentari diplomats used their natural speed to reach safety first. The Malbari lumbered behind, their thick hides protecting them from the heat radiating through the corridors. Even Telrin's own species, the scholarly Vasi, moved with logical efficiency toward survival. But engineer Sarah Reeves was sprinting toward the fire. "Reeves!" Telrin shouted through his respirator. "The children's wing has been evacuated." The wardens confirmed. "The count's wrong." Sarah yelled back, not slowing. "I saw 6 Krillian kids go in for music lessons. The warden only brought out 4. Telrin's 3 hearts seized. Krillian children, small, fragile beings whose exoskeletons wouldn't fully harden for another decade. They couldn't survive heat above 40 degrees Celsius. The fire was already beyond 90. "The structure is collapsing," Telrin said, catching up to her. "Even if you're correct, they're already not dead until I see bodies." Sarah pulled a maintenance override key from her belt and forced open an emergency locker. She grabbed a thermal blanket and soaked it at a water fountain, wrapping it around her head and shoulders. "Get to the shuttles, Ambassador." Protocol dictated he stop her. Regulations stated that no personnel should attempt unauthorized rescue operations. Statistics suggested the children were already deceased. Logic demanded he prioritize the living. But Sarah wasn't bound by Vasi logic. She was bound by something else, something Telrin had read about in human psychological profiles but never truly understood until this moment. She simply couldn't leave them. The heat hit like a physical wall as Sarah kicked open the damaged door to the children's wing. Smoke rolled in black waves, but she dropped low, remembering her training. Heat rises, breathable air sinks. Somewhere in the chaos, she heard it, the high-pitched chittering of Krillian distress calls. "Here," she shouted back to Telrin, who had followed despite every instinct screaming otherwise. "They're in the practice room." The door was warped shut. Sarah slammed her shoulder against it once, twice, 3 times. On the 4th impact, something in her shoulder tore, but the door gave way. 2 Krillian children huddled in the corner, their young exoskeletons already cracking from heat exposure. They chittered in terror at the sight of the strange mammalian creature emerging from the smoke. Sarah didn't hesitate. She wrapped one child in her arms and shoved the other at Telrin. "Go! Now!" The ceiling groaned. Support beams, weakened by the inferno, began to buckle. Sarah felt rather than heard the collapse beginning above them. Her human reflexes, honed by millions of years of predator and prey dynamics, fired. She threw herself forward, shielding the Krillian child with her body as debris rained down. Pain erupted across her back as a beam struck her. But she kept moving, crawling now, dragging the child toward air, toward safety, toward light. Hands grabbed her, Malbari rescue workers, their heat-resistant biology allowing them to penetrate deeper than any other species. They pulled Sarah and the child free just as the entire wing collapsed behind them. In the medical bay, Telrin watched human doctors work frantically on Sarah's burned and broken body. The Krillian parents stood vigil as well, their children stable, alive, impossible. "Why?" Telrin asked when Sarah finally regained consciousness hours later. "You had a 92% probability of death." The logical choice was evacuation. Sarah's burned lips cracked into something resembling a smile. "Ambassador, humans don't really do math when kids are dying. We can't not try." Telrin thought about this for a long time. His species had evolved through careful risk assessment, measured decisions, and logical progression. They had survived by being smart. Humans had survived by being something else entirely, by running toward danger when others ran away, by fighting impossible odds, by refusing to accept that some things were beyond saving. It made them foolish. It made them reckless. It made them heroes. Your species is statistically improbable, Telrin finally said. Sarah laughed, then winced at the pain. Yeah. We get that a lot. Outside, 6 Krillian children played in the temporary housing, their exoskeletons already regenerating. They were alive for only one reason: a human had decided that their lives were worth more than her own safety. The galaxy, Telrin realized, was still learning what that truly meant.